Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy George Michael Perez, aka GMike, and y'all already know what it is, baby. Back with another episode of the G Perspective, and I got some exciting news that I'm excited to share with y'all. Probably y'all don't give, but I'm excited to share that I have finally gotten my first sponsor, and my episodes will be streaming on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, all other podcasts, but now on the Varsity Sports Network. So I'm glad to announce that it's going to be on and popping from here on out like it's always been. But where you guys can follow me on Twitter at George Mike Perez, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at GMike Media _. The podcast, the audio version itself is available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube, and now streaming on the Varsity Sports Network. This week, I got an old guest, came on the episode last week, Richard, aka Dicky Moss. We go over the Kyrie Irving trade to the Dallas Mavericks, the NBA trade deadline, the NBA All-Star reserves, and the GOAT of the NFL quarterbacks, Tom Brady, has finally retired. And we go into a little more on high school sports, which will be on every single episode from here on out. Well, maybe not some episodes, but episodes with Dicky in it will be from here on out. We'll talk about sports because high school sports, because it will be involving our partners, the Varsity Sports Network. Well, thank you. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys subscribe, like, maybe leave some comments in the bottom. But let's get into it. My boy Dicky Moss, how you doing, brother?
What's up, G Money? Listen, it's glad to be here again, my boy.
Yeah, man. It's been awesome since graduation, man, and coming up to this point, and especially with the new works that we got in motion, right now, Dicky Mouse. Just to let the people know, got a new sponsor for us, Varsity Sports Network.
Sir.
So the G Perspective will be streaming on Varsity Sports Network, and so will Dicky Moss's podcast, Sports Vibes Podcast, will be streaming on Varsity Sports Network. So applaud for us. Applaud for us.
Shout out to Varsity Sports Network, man. I really appreciate them over there. They definitely, taking care of us right. You feel me?
Yep. And they're letting us call games as well. So any high school varsity sports, basketball, soccer, football, etc., they're going to help us out, get us out there, call some games. We've already done it for them in the past, like the 4 or 5 events. So hopefully we could keep it going in 2023, baby.
That's a fact. And hopefully we can just creep, into that professional, realm. You know what I mean?
That's what we need, man. That's what we need.
Listen, I'm repping your boys today, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm repping your boys because I think I rep my boys last time I was on here. So I said, you know what? I'll show some love to G Money and I'll put on my hero. You know what I'm saying? My Hero Academia.
Hopefully we start playing better after the damn All-Star break. But yeah.
We'll see. You know what I'm saying? We shall see. I mean, I like Miami. So.
Yeah. Me too, man. Me too, man. Me too.
But
yeah, All-Star break is down the street, but what's right around the corner is the NBA trade deadline, and we have some big news coming out from the NBA. We have seen Kyrie Irving being traded to the Dallas Mavericks, and in that package, it includes Kyrie Irving and Markieff Morris for Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie, and an unprotected 2029 first-round pick and second-round picks in 2027 and 2029. Dicky, after seeing these erupt news yesterday, how you feeling about this trade?
Well, when it first came across my screen, my immediate thought was, Lakers fans, y'all not getting
just
saved.
Pointing and laughing.
Pretty much, y'all not getting saved this season. I know y'all thought, Kyrie was gonna come be the savior, which I think he could have, but it's not happening for you. So as far as an analyst or the sports thing that we did, my sports mind started wondering, and I was like, well, it sounds good at first, but when you take a deeper dive into who's going to be on the floor, now I'm thinking, to me personally, I just don't think they're two ball dominant guys. To me, they're extremely ball dominant, both of them. The reason why Kyrie was able to work with some of the stars he's played with in the past, whether it be Kevin Durant or LeBron James, they can be effective, they can affect the game and not be ball dominant. When it comes to Luka, I don't think that's fun. Luka has ascended to a place now where we know he's that guy. He's a top 5 player in the NBA. He's ball dominant as ball dominant can get. I mean, he's probably led or one of the top leaders in the usage rate in the NBA. So to me, I just don't see how Jason Kidd is gonna have, because this is what I'm saying. You're not gonna have both of them sitting on the bench, at the same time. One is gonna be on the floor, at
at
every
all
point
times.
in the game. That's fine. I think how Jason Kidd is going to do it, because let's be honest, Kyrie's not at a point in his career, nor is he that far down the line where he's going to accept coming off the bench. So you're going to have to start him. So you're looking at Luka, Kyrie, Hardaway, probably Powell, and Christian Wood. That'll probably be your starting 5. What I think you're going to have to do is you'll have to start Kyrie and sit him super early. Probably pull him with like 9, maybe even 8 minutes left in the first quarter. Sit him down, right? Let Luka finish out the first. You pull Luka with maybe about 3 minutes left in the first. Put Kyrie in, and then let him go up until Luka comes back in the second, and you kind of do it like that. I mean, that's the only way that I could see it. Because I mean, in the closing lineup, you're probably going to have both of them, because I mean, they both can hit shots. So that's the way. I mean, Jason Kidd, I think he's a good enough coach. He'll figure it out. But I mean, to me, I think you might have a bit of a problem in your hands. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, the move doesn't put Dallas over the top for me, in my personal opinion. I think there's
Ooh,
still, uh, I'm just be honest, I still think there's at
yeah,
least
yeah.
3 teams that are better than Dallas, and I think would beat them in 7-game series. Denver, Memphis, and I mean, uh, that third team is kind of iffy. But I mean, I'm still on Golden State, even though I know they're not as high. People aren't as high on them, but I still got Golden State. I think as one of the top teams in the West, even though their record doesn't show it. But 7-game series, I would take those 3 teams over Dallas right now.
Yeah. So just going back on what you said about the beginning of the trade,
Mm-hmm.
just let me point out that for the Brooklyn Nets, this was an amazing trade for them. They're getting back
Yeah.
Spencer Dinwiddie, who was there before, and he was
Yep.
balling there before he
Mm-hmm.
left. Darian
Mm-hmm.
Finney Smith was there before as well. I keep butchering
Mm-hmm.
his name, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Fact. Yep.
DFS.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're getting 3 picks out of this. So essentially, they're getting 5 players for Kyrie and Markieff Morris. And
Mm-hmm.
Markieff Morris hasn't really been playing like that this season. So essentially, it's
Mm-hmm.
just for one player. Now,
Yeah.
going on the Dallas Mavericks side, I think they gave up a lot for him. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely going to set them back on where they were last year, and they made it to the Western Conference Finals. They played against the Golden State
Mm-hmm.
Warriors, only won 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
They were right there to get to the finish line,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even cross it, but they were right there to
Mm-hmm.
get to the finish line. So I think it is going to set them back a little bit. But now you got Kyrie, who's essentially a point guard, but he's been
Mm-hmm.
playing the 2 guard spot for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Luca, who, like you said, is very ball dominant, and he's not going to really be giving up the rock like that. He's going to be running that offense. He's going to
Mm-hmm.
be the playmaker. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I could see it working. I don't know if it's going to, but I could see it working
Mm-hmm.
out because Kyrie played with LeBron. And now
Yeah.
LeBron is not Luca. Obviously, Luca has a better shot, and LeBron is more athletic. But
Mhm,
they were both ball dominant players. They needed the ball in their hands to actually make a play for someone else. LeBron a little less, but he still had the ball in his hand a lot, and
mhm,
Kyrie still strived in that.
mhm,
Obviously, Luca's not LeBron. And he's not going to be carrying the team to success like LeBron has in the previous
mhm,
years. But I can see it still working out. Kyrie playing the 2 guard. He
mhm,
comes off screens, keeps moving around like an essential role player in a sense, like a
mhm,
Bradley Beal or Dwayne Wade, how they would move without the rock and to get their shots like that. He could go into that role. I just don't know if
mhm,
he'll buy into it. That's a whole different conversation. That's just
True.
the person that he is. But I could
Hmm.
see it working out. Now, like you said, I could see it not working out too. It could be two
Yeah.
guys they're just clashing that just want the ball all the time, and
Hmm.
it just goes down south from there. Now,
Hmm.
going to what you said about the Lakers fans, because I thought it was pretty funny, but I've had this idea since I saw the trade. Now,
Hmm.
if you're the Lakers, right,
Hmm.
you know that Kyrie Irving is going to be a free agent this offseason. So
Hmm.
why trade for him if he does want to play with LeBron and AD? Obviously, it's an assumption that we're going off of, but
Yeah.
let's assume that he does want to play with LeBron and AD.
Hmm.
Why would you trade for him? If you trade for him, you lose the picks that you have. You lose
Hmm.
Russell Westbrook, which you can sign again for veteran minimum if he actually takes that, and he can because he's in his hometown. He likes it there, you know,
Hmm.
and he hasn't been playing up to par since he left OKC. So
Hmm.
why do that trade if you think in the back of your mind, look, Kyrie still wants to play with Braun and AD. Yeah, he's going to the Dallas Mavericks. That's fine. Let him go over there. But if they
Hmm.
don't get very far, what do you think Kyrie's going to do? I think he goes to LA.
Now that is very interesting, and it could be a real possibility. The reason why I would push back on that G Money is because to me, I think Mark Cuban is one of the better owners in the NBA.
Agreed.
Now, granted, I do think he's very he can be impulsive. He seems like somebody that could be impulsive, and I also read some reports that the Mavericks were actually interested in Kyrie since the off season, like
Yeah.
when the whole thing happened and stuff like that. And then after whatever happened during the season, they kind of like backed off that. But my thing is that like you said, Kyrie's going to be a free agent. So why would Dallas give up assets, especially Spencer Dinwiddie, who again I think was playing very well this season? I mean, he's had what, a 35-point game. I think he's dropped 40 one time too, if I'm not mistaken. So Spencer Dinwiddie is a solid player, and you give up future picks, for your future if you didn't already have a conversation with Kyrie and say, "Hey, look, this is what we're thinking about offering you." And so, because from Kyrie's end, we kept hearing it's because Brooklyn disrespected him with the offer that they gave him. It wasn't a lot of guarantees, and it was heavily incentivized and things of that nature. My thing is, I'm pretty sure Mark Cuban had to have a conversation with either Kyrie or his people and say, "Look, let's be real. Kyrie's a great player. We want this, but obviously there are some things. This is the money that we're willing to allocate when the season comes." Because that's what I'm saying. You're talking about giving up Spencer Dinwiddie picks and essentially, like you said, 5 players for a rental. And like I said, I just don't see it. It's not like this move puts Dallas over the thing. If you were gonna say, let's say, rent LeBron or rent, Giannis or rent Luca, those are the type of players that I think can change, what I'm saying, like just completely swing the needle. What I'm saying? Shit, I would rent Kevin Durant. What I'm saying? Like those are the players that swing the needle. Kyrie just doesn't do that for me. And if I'm Dallas, I wouldn't have gave up assets without getting that confirmation first. Like, look, Kyrie, this is what we're gonna offer you. Are you gonna accept it? If Kyrie says, yeah, 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 we'll do it, then I'll go ahead and I'll make that trade. But so that's why I say I don't think he's going to LA because I don't see it. I just don't see it unless something completely crazy happens. Him and Luca just can't whatever. I just don't see it happening. G Money, because why would you give up assets for a rental? It don't make no sense.
And I think just to answer that question, I think it's because of what you said that Mark Cuban is an impulsive owner. Like
Yeah, you're
he's
right.
ready to click the green button whenever it's lit up. Like he's ready to
Hmm.
do it. And I honestly respect him for that because
Yeah, true.
sometimes you got to risk to gain a reward. You know, you got
That's
to make it
true.
happen. Now,
That's true.
what you said that he talked to Kyrie and his people, which I really think that he did. I think obviously I would say 99% sure that he talked to Luca about it.
Yeah,
And
fact.
just want to get your thoughts on it. What do you think that Luca said to him before this trade went down?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Luca probably just said, "Look, Mark, like let's be real. We made it to the Western Conference Finals last year. I'm an ascendant player, but we know in basketball, G Money, we know what can't happen. One person doesn't win you a championship. You need a team. So Luca needs a team, and he's probably expressed to Mark Cuban before, like, look, man, I need some help. Again, the Christian Wood. move was really good. And I remember we had spoke about that. I don't know if it was on your podcast or we spoke at school, but I said I thought that was a pretty good move for them. But now
Mm-hmm.
kind of like looking at it, I think what I think they need like like a solid, like a Steven Adams. They need just a rock solid guy in the middle. Christian Wood is more finesse. He wants to, bring the ball out a little bit and maybe shoot, take whoever from the perimeter and stuff like that. So that's not the help I guess Luka was necessarily looking for. But I'm sure Luka said, look, listen, if you do the Kyrie thing, just express to him that, look, this is Luka's team. Kyrie's not going to come here and upset the apple cart. Hopefully he knows like what's up because they have a good thing in Dallas. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And not to be disrespectful, but Kyrie's track record when it comes to different teams, he's been at a couple different stops. And it seems like the place has almost kind of been lit on, I'm not going to say lit on fire, but it seems like it's been working without him. Because remember when he went to Boston, they made it a back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? Remember that.
Yep.
One when he was hurt, and then the next one after he was already sent off
And they
to
went to
Brooklyn.
Game
So
7 against LeBron. That they almost went
ex-
to the finals. For Jason
exactly.
Tatum's rookie year.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. It seems like things when Kyrie got there, to certain places is like, okay, this is cool. Then the wheels started turning. So as long as Kyrie understands that, again, they already have something established in Dallas. That's Luka's team. He's the guy there. Kyrie is trying to come to help put them over that edge. So if Kyrie can, accept that mindset and do all that stuff, maybe like you said, possibly it could work. But to me, I don't think that puts them over the top. I think they need something else to really so that they can contend with the other teams in the Western Conference.
Well, I heard a rumor that Luka was actually telling Mark Cuban to bring back KCP.
Mm,
I'm sorry, not KCP. I'm sorry. KP.
mm,
Porzingis. He's trying to bring back Porzingis to play with him. And
really?
it may be because of the way that he's playing this season, but
True.
essentially he's getting the ball way more in his hands than he would with Luca. So maybe
Yeah.
that's the rebuttal there.
So,
But I saw a rumor on that, so I don't know. Maybe they do try to make another move. They still got till when tomorrow?
yep.
No,
Yep.
Thursday.
To
Thursday.
Thursday. Yep.
Thursday.
Thursday at 4. I think 4 o'clock Eastern.
Yep, 4 o'clock p.m.
Thursday at 4.
Eastern,
Got it.
February 9th. Yep.
Yes, sir. I
So
mean, listen, I'm with you, G Money. Maybe Dallas can do something else, but I mean, just based off what do you think? Like, even with the Kyrie and stuff like that, do you think this puts Dallas in the top contenders in the Western Conference?
I think it does. I think it does because
Mhm.
like last year they were just 2 wins away from the Western Conference Finals.
From the
Obviously, they're
finals, excuse me.
I'm sorry, yeah, from the final,
Yeah.
from the NBA
Hmm.
Finals. I'm sorry, and they were playing against a really tough Golden State team who was
Hmm.
very healthy.
Yep.
They were literally untouchable at home.
Hmm.
I literally called like 2 of those games. Won
Hmm.
some money off of it, but that's a whole different conversation.
That's a fact.
The 2 wins away, and I really think they needed just another player that's gonna help them score. I do agree with you that they do need a little more defense down in the paint, a little more of a rim
Hmm.
protector, and Steven Adams actually would be a great asset for them. But I think that they really need more is another scorer
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
Tim Hardaway Jr. wasn't playing like is this season. This season he
Hmm.
took it up to another gear, so maybe he could help him out in the playoffs. But you had Luca. I think he averaged almost like 35 a game in that series or something like
I
that.
think he did.
Yeah.
I mean, question: if you were Jason Kidd, because if I'm thinking the best approach for Dallas is to continue to do what they do, but essentially turn Kyrie into a spot up shooter because he's going to have so many open chances. Like think about like when LeBron played with like Mike Miller, Shane Battier, those type of guys. Like
Exactly.
somebody that can penetrate the defense on every single possession and suck that D in, no homo. Like can get the defense collapsed. You know what I'm saying? And dish it out. I mean, if Kyrie wants to do that, and if Jason Kidd can be like, look, Kyrie, you don't have to put on a dribbling exhibition, even though you can. You know what I'm saying? Do that when Luka's on the bench. But when Luka and Kyrie are in the game together, I think turn him into a spot up shooter because Kyrie's an excellent shooter. I actually don't think he gets enough credit for that. I think, what I'm saying, even though his ball handling is immaculate, but his perimeter shooting is very good. Twos
Very good.
and threes. So that would be my best bet. continue. Luka, have the ball in your hand. You know, get that penetration because Luka can pretty much get anywhere on the court. Whether
Mhm.
no matter what guard he plays, who guards him, whether it's small guards or forward or whatever, Luka can get to anywhere in the thing. So that would be my thing. So maybe you're right. Maybe that was the conversation. Like, look, if Kyrie wants to come here, maybe he can just kind of fit into the system. Look, I'm already doing what I do, and like you said, man, Luka can easily average 35. So you bring Kyrie, who's definite 20-point scorer. Looking at now, man, it seems like it's good to have, but I'm just a little skeptical, me personally.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure why you're a little skeptical is because of the whole the package. The package is huge for
Mm-hmm,
for just Kyrie essentially, and
mm-hmm,
if it does work, he's got to be the two guard. 100%. He's got to
mm-hmm,
be the two guard. Like you said, he's an exceptional shooter, and I'm glad he pointed that out because a lot of people do not see Kyrie as that. They think that he could just dribble, and then pull up
mm-hmm,
or drive it in or whatever.
mm-hmm.
No, he could play off the ball. He could play
He
off the
really
ball
could.
very well. He could spot up,
Mm-hmm,
shoot. Like that's why I compared him to like a Bradley Beal and a Dwayne Wade because Bradley Beal when he was playing with John Wall, he was off the ball all the time and he was
yeah.
getting like almost 30 points a game. And then
Mm-hmm,
Dwayne Wade, obviously, we know from back in the days, taking the hard falls and everything. He was
mm-hmm.
going off the ball all the time too. Like
That's true.
I think that Kyrie can essentially get to that. I just don't know if his mindset and his soul will let him do that. Like I don't know if
That's
his
that's a fact.
pride, that's the word, his pride. I don't know if his pride will let him
That's
do that. That's the thing.
That 1,000%. And Kyrie has one of these. So you got to think like if he comes in with that mentality, like, look, I'm a champion. Y'all can't tell me what to do, and Jay, hopefully I don't know even know what his relationship is with Jay Kidd, but I know Jay Kidd and LeBron, have a very good relationship and stuff like that. So I don't know if him and Kyrie do, but like that because we remember we spoke about that all last year with like the Westbrook mentality. Like, is Westbrook gonna take a lesser role? Will he accept coming off the bench? Like there was so many unanswered questions, and now we're seeing what his play that he's really thrived in his role. Russell Westbrook. So I don't know. Maybe Kyrie turned over a new leaf and stuff, but I'm very skeptical with it. What I'm saying, hopefully I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong, because I like Dallas. They're a cool little team. I like Luca and stuff, but I just don't know. We don't know right now.
Yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
like I said, NBA trade deadline is on Thursday, 4 o'clock p.m.
Yep.
Eastern time,
Thursday.
February 9th. Right before then, we got this great trade that just went through right now. But
Mhm.
just off the top of your head, I know I'm hitting you with this quick hitter, but off the top of your head, what trade can you see happening before Thursday? Either having a big time superstar getting traded or a team that just
Mhm.
needs a couple of role players to help them out to get over that hump, to get into the playoffs, to get to the conference finals, or even get to the NBA final.
Honestly, I'm gonna kind of go with your team. I've been kind of I've heard things about like like something centered around Kyle Lowry because Kyle Lowry has an expiring contract. A lot of people might be interested with that. Not saying that Kyle Lowry can't help the Heat, but like if I'm be honest, he's not. When you guys brought him from Toronto, I don't think he gave you what you wanted. Now a lot of that was due to injury, so I'll give Kyle Lowry a pass on that. But I think maybe Pat Riley has something up his sleeve because again the Heat, you guys weren't in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, so the Heat have not played up to the Heat standard this year, and I feel like that's a fair statement to say.
Yeah.
So, and I know Pat Riley is very adamant about he wants to be a contender. Okay, he doesn't want to be at the bottom of the barrel, or he doesn't want to be just mediocre. No, Pat Riley is a winner, and that organization as a whole in Miami is very thing. So I think maybe something might happen in Miami centered around maybe Kyle Lowry and another player. I don't see. I mean, maybe like Kyle Lowry and Duncan, or Kyle Lowry and Martin, maybe something like that. I could see. To who I'm not 100% sure. I really think you guys need like a surefire like a point guard, like a point guard. I don't know, man. I'm thinking, would you want D'Lo in Miami?
I would what I think we need is a scorer. or
Mm-hmm.
a good no above above average good, a power forward, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
would, to answer your question, yes, I would take D'Lo in a trade
Mm-hmm.
for Kyle Lowry and someone else because he'll come give us the playmaking, scoring aspect that we need.
Mm-hmm.
We need another consistent scorer because we got Jimmy. He's been on and off the court all season.
Mm-hmm.
Bam is playing incredible right now.
Yep.
Tyler Hero took a step back from last season. I don't know what's up with him, but he hasn't been playing like the sixth man like he was last season. Maybe it's a
Mm-hmm.
starting role. Maybe his mindset
Maybe.
changed a little bit. Who knows? But we still have a second half of the season. And then if it's a power forward that we go for, I think it
Mm-hmm.
would be John Collins out of Atlanta. I think
Mm.
John Collins would fit us well. He's very aggressive on the offensive end,
Athletic. Super athletic.
athletic, and he can
Mm-hmm.
spread out the floor as well. And on defense, obviously with the Miami Heat culture, they're gonna come and
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna get his defensive mentality intact.
That's
But
not bad. I wouldn't mind
so I want to talk about our arch enemy, the Boston Celtics, right? Because
that.
I heard a rumor that they're trying to get Kevin Durant. Now,
Mm.
if they're gonna try and get Kevin Durant, then you know the whole soul of that trade is going to be surrounded by Jaylen Brown, right?
Yep.
So you're
Yep.
gonna get Jaylen Brown, maybe another player, and picks, right, for
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the Boston Celtics, man, in my opinion, you don't do that. Kevin Durant has
No.
been shown in the previous years that he is now injury prone. He is an amazing player, one of my favorite
Mm-hmm.
players, and one of the top scorers, I think, in maybe NBA history.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't shy away from the fact that he's now injury prone. And you
Mm-hmm.
got a upcoming superstar in Jaylen Brown paired next to a superstar already in Jason Tatum, where they have so much chemistry with each other
Yeah.
defensively and offensively. Like the chemistry
Yeah.
is just there and it's intact. You're gonna bring in KD, who's gonna bring that scoring aspect, obviously, with that great defensive minded team.
Mm-hmm.
It can help you, but it can bring them down. I don't know. I don't think that the Boston Celtics should do that. I think they should stick with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, other people feel different. But how'd you feel? How would you feel about that?
Yeah, listen, I agree with you. In all honesty, I would if I'm the Boston Celtics, you just made the NBA final. Listen, the Boston Celtics are a good team. They've literally been in the Eastern Conference Finals the last 5 years, like damn near every year. They
Yeah,
made the finals once. I mean, like you said, you have a superstar in Jason Tatum, who, he's a what's the word I'm looking for? He's a um I don't want to say Ricky, but he just stepped into superstardom. Like it's
yeah,
very
hmm
early for him. And the reason why I like Jalen Brown is because Jalen Brown on some nights is just as good as Jason Tatum. But I think that he understands, like, what I'm saying, it's just like with Clay and Steph. Like there's some nights Clay knows, like, yo, I got it tonight. Like I'm
hmm
hotter than Steph. And it does, and it meshes well together. I think that's the same thing in Boston. Now, if you take Jalen Brown away, and you bring in Kevin Durant, like you said, exceptional player. Obviously, KD can score on a level with Jalen Brown or even higher. You know what I'm saying? But one, how is that going to make the rest of your team feel? Because again, Jalen Brown is homegrown. You drafted him. You know what I'm saying? The people love him in Boston. Then you bring in KD, and now he brings all of his superstar stardom and everything that he's done. How does that work with Jason Tatum? And what kind of mindset does that put Jason Tatum in? Does Jason Tatum say, man, F this, man. I'm the guy here in Boston. This is Tatum Town right here. I'm going to do my thing. Or does he say, let me give it up to Kevin Durant because, he's such a great player. He's done all this. And then he tries to take a step back. And Katie's like, well, I never really want to be a leader or anything like that. I just want to kind of chill. And it's like, so now it's like, you don't know. So I'm with you. Keep it how it is. I think they have a great team. Like I said, I know we definitely spoke when I told you that Malcolm Brogdon trade was arguably the best offseason move I think any team made. And you see what it's doing. Like, no disrespect to Marcus Smart, but Malcolm Brogdon is a point guard that can really kind of just run that entire offense. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? And I
hmm
think it's working well. And their defense, I thought their defense would take a step back with Ime not being there, but Joe
Still
Mazzulla has
playing up
done
to
a
par.
great. yeah, they've done an exceptional job. They're still an excellent defensive team. And, Boston is in a good place. I don't think they need to do anything different or any. And like you said, man, KD's injury prone. At least Jaylen Brown will play. And when Jaylen Brown plays, that's a guaranteed 20 to 25 points just on a
On a night
regular
to
night
night.
for him. Exactly. And we know he can go above and beyond 30, 35-point games. Jaylen Brown is capable of that. And he can play defense. KD is a little bit longer in the tooth. Maybe doesn't want to expend all his energy on defense. I think the Celtics are good right now. I would not trade for Kevin Durant and upset that team right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, trade deadline, 4 p.m. Eastern, February 9th, this upcoming Thursday. We'll probably see some more trades go through. Maybe today, tomorrow, the next day after that. Hopefully something
Fact.
big, get us NBA fans up and going. But
That's a fact.
after that, it's going to be the All-Star break. And now we finally have the NBA All-Star reserves in our
Yes, we
face,
do.
up and coming. So for the Eastern Conference reserves, I'm going to just go through them. And then after, well, we'll get in the nit and gritty. Eastern Conference All-Star reserves, Joel Embiid, Jaylen Brown, Bam Adebayo, Drew Holiday, which was one that you called,
Yep.
DeMar DeRozan, Julius Randle, another one you called, and
Mm-hmm.
Tyrese Halliburton. For the Western Conference All-Stars, got John Morant, Domantas Sabonis, Damian Leonard, Paul George, Shai Gillis Alexander, if I said his name right, Laurie Markkinen, and Jaren Jackson Jr. So after hearing and seeing those All-Star reserves for the past week, Dicky, you got any snubs in your mind that should be on this list? And if so, who would you replace him with?
Well, I'm glad that you asked. Definitely think De'Aaron Fox got snubbed on this one. I know a lot of people, will argue Sabonis is the best player on that Kings team. I think it's slightly, but De'Aaron Fox is playing well. The Kings are third place in the Western Conference right now. And let's be honest, we look at Sacramento as basketball purgatory. Okay, let's be honest, we don't respect San Antonio. I mean, not San Antonio. Excuse me, Sacramento. No one's respected Sacramento since those old Mike Bibby teams that were taking the Lakers to 7 games and stuff like that. So shouts out to them. But I do think De'Aaron Fox got snubbed on this one. If I was to take someone out, and it just so happens that he won't be playing, it just came across my phone, I think, yesterday. But Steph Curry is going to be out.
Yep.
So obviously they're going to need somebody to replace him. I would give the nod to De'Aaron Fox if I was the NBA.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I really like that pick for sure, De'Aaron Fox. If we're sticking with the Western Conference right now, though, I think De'Aaron Fox is actually up there. He would be the one that I would choose, but since you already picked him, I'm gonna go with someone else, and I think it should be Ant. Should be Ant out of Minnesota. I think that he's been playing very, very well this season, and obviously, the Minnesota Timberwolves are not where they want to be. They're only in the 7th seed right now, so they're playing for a play-in tournament at this point in the season. But he's just been on the tear, man. He's just been scoring lights out, leading his team to wins. Sometimes even clutching it up at the end of the fourth quarter, where he gets the dub for his squad. And the fact that Karl Anthony Towns is not there, which really puts them down in the 7th seed, because I think right now they would probably be maybe 4th or 3rd seed right now if the Cat was still playing.
Possibly.
But obviously injuries happen and it is what it is, so he's not there. But yeah, I would choose Ant for sure to come out and to replace Stephen Curry. But before him, I agree, De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, and I can't lie, that Ant-Man pick is really good. And I think I saw where he was doing an interview and they asked him, about it, and he just pretty much was just like, yeah, I mean, I didn't, start the season very well, so but he said, don't worry about next year, I'll be on there, and I like that mentality. You know what I'm saying? He didn't make any excuses. He just went for it. And I think he's the type of player that, that can do it. So listen, Minnesota, I think they got something on their hands. And hopefully they can show him, like, look, man, Ant, you can win here, because I would hate for, Ant to leave after, so many, but we've seen that happen in Minnesota before.
Yeah.
They'll draft
Minnesota is
somebody.
bad luck city,
Yeah,
man. Bad luck city when it
very
comes to
bad,
the
very bad luck.
NBA. And for you
Now
guys
to
that, my bad, I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
For you guys that don't know who Ant is, Anthony Edwards, just so you know
Yes,
his
Ant Man.
full government name, just in case people don't know out there. You know what I'm saying?
Facts,
For the Eastern
facts.
Conference, um, I'm gonna just get this one out of the way, and I'm gonna say Jimmy Butler should be there for sure, obviously, but
Mm,
but
okay,
he's missed a lot
I
of
understand.
games, so I see why not. But
Yeah.
the one for sure that should be there, and I think that should replace Tyrese Halliburton, even though he's been having a great year. But the
Hmm.
Pacers are 11th seed in the East, so it's
Hmm.
that really hurts
True.
your All Star rebuttal right there.
Hmm.
But I would say James Harden. The Sixers
Yeah,
are
that's.
third in the East right now, and
Hmm.
obviously it's mainly because of Joel Embiid and how he's been playing on his,
Hmm.
in my opinion, MVP season. But
Hmm.
James Harden has been a big impact to that as well.
Yep.
He's been facilitating the rock. He scores on he could get 20 a night. He could get 15 assists a night. He could get 10
Hmm.
rebounds a night. He could record
Yes, he
a
can.
triple double like Russell Westbrook did in those years in
Hmm.
the past. So I think that James Harden was a big time stub in this one.
Hmm.
I see why they chose Tyrese Halliburton. Again, he's
Hmm.
been having a phenomenal year, but I would have chosen James Harden.
Got you. And I'm not gonna lie. Listen, I'm gonna agree with you. But since you said James Harden, who I'm gonna go with, and this is my personal opinion, and I actually think he should replace his teammate. Not because his teammate's been playing bad, but I think he's actually the best player in his team. I'm gonna go with Jalen Brunson.
Okay.
Jalen Brunson,
Okay.
and
I like that. I
I
like that.
would take. Listen, Jalen Brunson has been hooping this year,
Yeah, he really
and
has.
and now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wow, could Dallas really have kept him? Like, I wonder if Dallas could have kept him because if you keep Jalen Brunson, now you can still keep Spencer Dinwiddie, you can can still keep Smith, like.
Mhm.
So now it just had me thinking the other day, but yeah, I would have gone with Jalen Brunson as an All Star. I think he's playing very, very well this year. And again, the Knicks are the Knicks. We know what the Knicks represent, but they're doing a lot better than what I thought they would. So,
Yeah. No, they
so
really
yeah,
are. They
so
really are.
I would pick Jalen Brunson, and also low key I wanted to say Kyle Kuzma, but I was kind of going over the numbers before you and I got on air and stuff like that. And Kuz isn't his rebounding and assist numbers aren't what I thought they were. His scoring is definitely up there, but
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so that's why I would pick Jalen Brunson, but I love Kuz too. So.
Yeah. I think those two are great players as well, and they're helping their
Hmm.
teams actually win. Obviously, the Wizards and the Knicks are not at the point where they would want to be, but the Knicks are 7th seed. The Wizards, 10th seed. So they're both in playoff contention. I'll give them
That's a
that,
fact.
but
That is a
they're
fact.
not up to where they want to be. But
That's a
those are the
fact.
NBA All Star reserves. The NBA All Star game will be at the end of the month. Uh, it's gonna be a good game to
Yeah,
watch.
facts.
I guess
Yeah.
a little excitement and stuff. But
That's a fact. You know how the All Star game is now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bummed that Steph Curry won't be versus. I just want to see somebody just jack up threes. But I think Dame will probably take that role for
probably,
Steph. Yeah, he'll take the 3-point role for Steph.
and then Team LeBron will win again, like it always has. So.
I'm just ready to see the teams, bro. I want to see the teams. Like, I can't believe I gotta wait to see the teams pick. That's crazy.
But you see, this is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
The anticipation and excitement that you have of seeing
Hmm.
who is available to play, but you don't know what team they're going to be on or who they're playing with, is
Yeah.
honestly awesome. Like I would
Yeah.
say, is awesome.
Uh,
Right before the game tips off, like you just see him like picking, like, all right, yeah, I got him. All right, I got him. You know what I'm saying? And then it's gonna be funny to see who's last.
Oh yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. That's
But
crazy.
yeah, man, that's gonna be dope for sure. But
Yep,
some
I'm ready.
other exciting news that we heard this news last year, but now
Yep.
we're hearing it again.
Yep. Same
The
news.
GOAT, in my opinion, of NFL quarterbacks in NFL history, Tom Brady has retired from the NFL, ladies and
It's not
gentlemen.
Aaron Rodgers. I thought
nah,
you're fair. I thought the goat was Aaron Rodgers. My bad.
nah.
My bad. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna just
My
list off
fault.
some accolades right here, so I could
Okay.
put into my argument on why this man is the GOAT, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, listen, you get
15
no
time,
argument from me. No
yeah,
argument from
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
None.
15-time Pro Bowler,
Mhm.
3-time All Pro, 7-time Super Bowl champion, 5-time Super Bowl MVP, Hall of Fame All 2000s team, Hall of Fame All 2010 team, 3-time NFL MVP, and 2009 Comeback Player of the Year.
Mm.
Man, man, Dicky,
What a
where where
resume.
where does Brady stand with the greats of quarterbacks?
I mean, again, regardless of my opinion, that's just my personal bias. But when you're talking facts, Tom Brady's the GOAT. There's no other way around it. The man has every passing record known to man. I honestly, if I'm gonna be honest with you, right now, I mean, there's only one person that I think could even threaten Tom Brady's anything, and obviously that's Patrick Mahomes. So, but other than that, I mean, even the great quarterbacks we have in this league, even if they were to sustain that stuff, I still think they don't catch Tom. Man, the man played in 10 Super Bowls. You got to think there was a period in my life where Tom Brady was literally either in a Super Bowl or at least at the very least AFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
So I forgot how many AFC Championship games he went to. I want to say it was 12 or 13, something like that. So, but come on now, that again, he's the GOAT, and he did it. He did it with his mind. I know a lot of people came, like really kind of give Peyton Manning that, thing for being the cerebral assassin and just putting the game all in his brain and putting this piece in there. But I think Tom Brady did it with his brain by knowing what he was good at and really like focusing on that. He was never super athletic. He wasn't big and strong. He was never the biggest quarterback. He was never the fastest quarterback. Nothing. He just did what worked for him in his
Mm-hmm.
system. And listen, you can't argue that, man. The man is a GOAT. I don't think anybody will ever touch him like in Super Bowls, at least from the quarterback position. I don't think anybody could do that. Maybe when we get old and gray, G Money, there might be a young quarterback who's not even born yet that might threaten, but I don't think we're gonna see anything in our lifetime like Tom Brady. So shouts out to the GOAT, man, for retiring, hanging it all up, even though it wasn't in the fashion that he probably wanted. But I think he knew it was time. And at first, when he first said it, I didn't believe him. But after like watching the video and kind of like how emotional he got and stuff like that, I was like, you know what? I think he knows his time. Like, you know,
Yeah, all the time, catching up for sure.
yep, 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 yep.
Um, yeah, Tom Brady's number one for me for sure.
Yeah,
I've
no
never
question.
like really uh like felt for the whole like Tom Brady is the greatest and this and that, but like I respect his game and how he's
Yep.
won so much that it's like if for you to say that he's not like at least top two, and I think he's one, but if you to say that he's not at least top two, I think it's just like the hate coming out, the
Yeah, of
hatred
course.
coming out
Of
of
course.
maybe you're a Bills, Jets, Dolphins fan, maybe that's
Hmm.
why you won't say that, but
Yeah.
the man has proven time and time again, helping his team get to the AFC Championship, like you said, getting to the Super
Hmm.
Bowl as well. The only rebuttal that people will probably say is that he's always had great defenses and a great coach. And can he do it without Belichick? But then he goes to Tampa Bay and he does it without Belichick, but
Hmm.
with a great defense as well. So it's like,
Hmm.
it goes back and forth. But then again, you stand back and you just look at it all and you're like, man,
Yeah.
this guy has comeback games, victories, comeback victories. This guy has blown teams out of the water. This guy has gotten receivers that come from other teams to his team to break records
Hmm.
and score so many touchdowns and all this stuff, man. So it's definitely hard to make an argument against that Brady isn't one of the greats, but I believe he is. He's up there for sure. And how you're saying, I agree with you that I don't think that we're gonna see someone like Tom Brady in our lifetime, but I think the person that's gonna come close is Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
This guy has
Yep.
been to 5 AFC championships
Hmm.
since he started in the NFL.
That's a fact.
His
That's a
first year,
fact.
he did not start. He only played 2 games, which are the last 2 games of the season, and that made
Mm-hmm.
Andy Reid be like, "Okay, this guy knows exactly what he's doing. Let me get rid of Alex
Mm-hmm.
Smith right quick. Let me let me
Yeah.
let me get like 2 picks for Alex Smith right quick and keep Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's a
so
fact.
he's been to 5 AFC championships. The guy's young. He's gonna do a
Mm-hmm.
lot. I don't think he's gonna get to the Tom Brady Super Bowl of 7 wins, but
Mm-hmm.
I think he's gonna come close. I think maybe he'll get 4 or 5. So I think he's gonna
I
be there. But
yeah.
like,
I
what?
think. I think.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go Oh, I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, I agree, especially with the way the game is transitioned. You and I we're old enough to see the game transition from run super hard, play exceptional defense to now we're in the passing era. So again, like I said, I do think Patrick Mahomes will maybe come closer with the numbers, like because I think he'll have the passing numbers. I mean, he's averaging 5,000 yards a season. So I mean, you look at that, he's going to have well over 50,000 yards and or even get closer to 80. He'll have the touchdowns, also depending on how much longer Travis Kelsey plays there. And Andy too. Andy's an
Yeah, true.
exceptional
Yep.
offensive mind, puts him in places and positions, and he knows what Patrick Mahomes is and what he isn't. And he puts him in exceptional position. So we'll see. But yeah, I think Patrick will get the closest, but I doubt we'll see anybody in our lifetime. You just got to respect. You just got to appreciate greatness, man. I
Yeah,
think
you really
I've
do.
realized like whether you love or hate somebody or anything like that, you just got to respect greatness. Like for me, I was never the biggest Kobe Bryant fan and stuff like that, but I always respected Kobe and his game because he was great. He was an exceptional player, so I always respected him, even though I wasn't necessarily a fan of him. Same thing with like LeBron, man. LeBron's about to pass Kareem, and like people are still you're still hating on this man, like for what?
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm
For
saying?
what?
Obviously, yes,
For
you
what?
can dislike stuff. Obviously, look, everything LeBron does, I'm not in agreement with, but you just gotta respect greatness at that point in time. Just and that's all I can do, man. Just reflect on Tom and all the
Hmm.
great things I've seen him do. Like you said, all the comebacks, all the touchdowns, just all the winning. He's just a winner. That's what he is, man. So shouts
Yeah,
out to the GOAT, man.
yeah. And last season, he retired and then he unretired in like 58 days. But just like
Hmm.
you, I don't think that's gonna happen again. I think
Hmm.
that has come to the realization that he's like,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm not gonna do this no more. And you know what? I'm gonna go and call some games and get paid as much
That's a
more
fact.
as I did my whole NFL career. So
I'm gonna be a family man.
you feel me?
I'm gonna get my family back. That'd be something crazy. Tom Brady get back with Giselle. That's
Hey,
hilarious.
hey, man. Hey, if he's trying to, I hope he does.
That's a fact, man. We've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So,
Hmm.
Tom Brady, hey, shout out to you, man, making that
Shouts
hard
out to Tom
decision for
Brady.
sure. Because I know damn well if I was getting paid to play and I got 20 seasons in me and I'm coming up on like 21, for example, I'm like, damn, I want to keep playing, dog.
Yeah,
So
facts,
yeah,
of
so
course.
I'm pretty sure that's a hard ass decision.
That's a fact. I mean, and it really hasn't even hit him yet, if you think about it. Because, like,
Probably.
when it probably won't hit him till probably I say like OTAs and like mini camp and all that stuff starts. He's like, damn, like I'm not going to the facility. I'm not, you
Yeah,
know what I'm
right,
saying?
right. I'm here.
That
I'm
I,
playing
but I,
golf.
but I won't. Even though I do think he's done, there is like the tiniest little 0.0001 chance that I'm like, I don't know, Las Vegas, San Francisco,
Miami.
maybe, uh, Miami, the Jets. I don't know. We don't
We'll
know. We
see.
gotta wait and see. So,
I guess we'll see, man. Yeah,
hmm
but yeah, I applaud to him for going out like that for sure. And 7 Super Bowls, that's crazy. That's crazy. But talking about the Super Bowl, man, next week is the Super Bowl, and we
yes, it
got
is.
the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Real
Hmm.
quick before we get out of here, because we only got a little bit of time left. But Dicky, what is your
Hmm.
prediction on who wins this Super Bowl?
Ah, this is gonna be type kind of crazy, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna give you a score. I think this is gonna be fairly low scoring. I'm gonna give you a low score. I got 20-17. I think the Eagles are gonna take it on some, Jalen Hurts takes them down the field. They kick a last minute field goal type stuff because I just feel like with the Mahomes injury, I could tell he was hobbled in that AFC Championship game against Cincinnati, and Cincinnati was able to kind of move him around and get him out the pocket and stuff like that. And that Philly defensive line is relentless. So with Hassan Reddick, Fletcher Cox, Graham, I mean, they're gonna get after Mahomes, and I think they're gonna heat him up. I'm not gonna lie, I think they're gonna heat him up and just kind of get him off balance and really kind of throw off what he wants to do. They're probably gonna double Kelsey. That's what I would do because I mean they don't have, Kadarius Toney. I don't know how healthy he's going to be. Juju, I don't know how healthy he's. I mean, excuse me, not Juju. Cole Hardman, and I think Juju got banged up too, didn't he?
Yeah.
In fact, so I don't know who. I mean, Travis Kelsey is honestly his only target, his only weapon. So we'll see what happens. But I got the Eagles winning a close one, 20-17.
Yeah, I don't know what score I got, but I do have the Eagles winning as well. And the reason it being is I think both teams are going to play exactly the same, really. I think both defensive lines are going to do work. I think the Eagles secondary is better than in KC's secondary for sure.
For sure.
They're probably going to KC's secondary is probably going to mess up a few times. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith probably get their touchdowns. Taylor Smith, Jalen Hurts doing his thing, and I think it's going to come down to the end. Fourth quarter, 5 minutes left, and Eagles are going to have the ball. Hurts is going to take them down the field, and they're going to either win by a field goal or a touchdown. I think they're going to have that last second sling. But I think it's going to be a dope Super Bowl, though. Very entertaining.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It's definitely. I think it's definitely going to be. It's definitely going to be. Better than the last time KC was in the Super Bowl against Tampa. So,
yeah.
I definitely think it's definitely going to be better than that, man. Listen, I'm excited, bro. I love the Super Bowl, man.
Same.
What I'm saying? But I love the Super Bowl, man. Wait, is it Super Bowl party at your crib?
Right? I already know, baby. You already know.
I'll be there. What you need me to bring, though?
We'll talk about that after.
Okay. All right, man. Okay, bet.
Oh, man. Yeah, man. Hey, but before we get out of here, like I mentioned in the beginning of the episode, we are now streaming on Varsity Sports Network. And Varsity Sports Network is varsity sports, high school varsity sports throughout Florida that will be covered on Varsity Sports Network, whichever events we get, whichever broadcasting rights we get. It's coming up in the near future. But we got some winter sports updates with boys wrestling championships. The dual state championship for 1A is the winners are Jensen Beach High School. For 2A, Lake Gibson High School. And for 3A is South Dade High School. So congrats to them on the boys wrestling championships. And then on the next updates, we got the competitive cheerleading. For Class 2A, we have the small division, which is Winderman champions right there. The middle division, which is Winter Park, where we went to school.
Winter
Park, baby. Large division, Barnton Trail. Extra large division, Lake Mary. And then we're switching up to the small numb tumbling, which is Miramar. Ooh, that's down in South Florida.
Miramar, down in South Florida.
Medium numb tumbling, West Broward. Large numb tumbling, Dillard High School. Extra large numb tumbling, Lakeland High School. And then we're going to switch it up to the small co-ed champions, which will be the Strawberry Crest High School. Medium co-ed, DeLand High School, which is right down the street from me right here. And large co-ed, which is Barton High School. Shout out to those champions in the Class 2A competitive cheerleading.
That's fire.
Yeah, do a little round of applause for them, Dicky.
That's a fact. Yeah, listen, hey, congratulations to them, man. Listen, that tumbling and all that stuff, that's fire.
No, hey, that must be super hard though. That crazy. You got to be super athletic. I think in your upper body strength has to be on point too. Like
that is a fact. I'm telling you, listen, it is not for the weak. I'll tell you that. Cause my brother does the competitive cheerleading and stuff, and they be flipping and doing all. Nah, man,
gymnastics is crazy, especially watching in the Olympics. Sheesh.
Oh, wow. Shout out to those schools, man.
Yeah. We'll go for the Class 1A right now, the small division, Calvary Christian High School. Medium division, Providence High School. Large division, Niceville. Okay, I pronounced that wrong. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Extra large division, Ponton Virda. Small tumbling division, we're going to go West Nassau.
Okay.
Medium non-tumbling, Arbandale.
Mm-hmm.
Large non-tumbling, Foundation Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Extra large non-tumbling, LaSalle. And then we're going to go to the co-ed here. The small co-ed is Chukwachi High School.
Chukwachi.
Yeah, nice name. Nice name. And then middle co-ed would be Hudson High School. So shout out to those champions in the Class 1A competitive cheerleading. A little round of applause to you guys. That's awesome to hear. And then for next week, back on the G Perspective, or if we go to the Sports Vibe podcast episode, next week we're going to be going into the boys and girls soccer and girls basketball state championship brackets, which are set. Tune into Varsity Sports Network to see the bracketology show for all three sports updates. Boys and girls soccer state championship coming up Friday, the weekend of the 22nd to the 25th at Spec Martin Stadium in DeLand, Florida. So for you guys that want to go check that out, you could go over there and check that out. On that weekend, February 22nd to the 25th at Spec Martin Stadium in DeLand, Florida. Okay. The girls basketball championships are coming up that same weekend, February 25th to the 22nd to the 25th at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland, Florida.
Okay.
It's going to be at the same time, both of these championships, the girls and boys soccer and the girls basketball. So obviously you can't be at two places at once. No, hopefully you can make it to one of them at least, because they will be at the same time and will be covered on the Varsity Sports Network at the same time. Then after that, it would be the boys basketball districts, which start this week. State brackets will be set this Saturday for the championships. Boys states are March 1st through the 4th at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland as well. So it's going to be a lot for Dicky and I to talk about this upcoming week on this boys basketball, girls and boys soccer, and girls basketball. So it's going to be very exciting for you guys to listen. Maybe you guys can even go in person and watch, or stream it on the Varsity Sports Network.
I think we might be at a couple of those events, G Money.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. We just love sports, man. It's not even nothing that, like, it just comes so naturally. We're just like, oh man, we love all sports. Listen, shout out to all those champions, and shout out to all the champions that will come in the future. That 22nd, that's right after my birthday too. I get to see some championships, girls basketball, some boys and girls soccer. Oh yeah, I'm out there. You feel me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Before we get out of here, Dicky, man, let them know where they could listen, watch you, and where they could follow you on your socials.
Oh yes. So it is I, Dicky Moss, aka Welcome to Sports Vibes Podcast, where you know the vibes. Again, you can follow me on all podcast streaming platforms at Sports Vibes Podcast. Again, I will also be here exclusively on Varsity Sports Network right now, and you can watch at varsitysportsnetwork.net, if I'm not mistaken, right? G-Money?
varsitysportsnetwork.net, yep.
Okay, varsitysportsnetwork.net. You can catch us, again, me and G-Money, the G Perspective and Sports Vibes Podcast and stuff. So again, we'll be alternating, G will do one week, and then I'll do it. So but you'll see both of us. You see me, you see him, you see me, you see him as well. So.
Yes, sir. Guys, you know where you can follow me on my socials: Twitter at GMike Perez, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at GMike Media _. The podcast itself, the audio version, is the G Perspective on all podcast platforms and on YouTube, and now on the Varsity Sports Network. We thank you guys for coming out, viewing us, listening to what we gotta say, and hopefully we catch you next week. And Dicky, we're gonna be talking about the Super Bowl outcome next week, baby.
That's the fact, man. Listen, we're gonna be there. I'm gonna be at your house, though. It'll be cool.
Oh, that's right.
Well, I'm coming over.
Right after, the day after. Just
that's a fact.
The same thing we talked about. We're gonna put it out.
Exactly. 1000%, man. 1000%.
Hey, but I thank you again, Dicky, man. And
of course, man.
Yeah, I know. See you soon, buddy. See you soon.
All right. I will see you next week, my guy.
Yes, sir.